Hey everybody, we're back. This is the Vinyl Show. Looking through the vinyl shelves. This is episode. I'm losing track. I think we're 17 now. It's wild. A lot of hours put into looking through the vinyl collection. So it's just me and some friends. We're going through our record shelves. We're pulling out stuff that we want to look at that we haven't seen in a while. Opening it up, seeing what's inside. I just went through the entire alphabet from Z all the way down to A. And I burnt through all that. Currently, I'm going through the recents shelf and stuff that hasn't been put away, recent purchases. So it's really the creme de la creme because it's the stuff that's been played recently and not put away. So lots of stuff to be opened still. We're finding new stuff on that shelf that's never been opened. So exciting stuff ahead. And I know the people that have come along with me on this journey are going to show you some awesome stuff too. As well, this is a live chat, so if you're in the chat, feel free to speak up and we will converse with you over there. There's even a link in the live chat if you want to call in and surprise us. Go for it. Why not? Try it. Try it out. Hit the link. You pop in, you say hello, we kick you out. It's no big deal. What else? If you're watching this and you are a subscriber, thank you very much. Appreciate that. If you feel like subscribing, why not? Hit the subscribe button. It will serve you well. And for this live broadcast, as I've learned from my friend Kevin Buried on Mars, if you hit the like button, it does a lot to the live audience. It attracts the audience to your live show. So if you're here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. More business to get out of the way. This is the final days of the subscriber giveaway, where we're giving away this live music prize pack, including this huge CD box set of Mr. Dylan's music compendium from the 80s with the DVD and a live concert right there. You have, I think, 2 days left to check out the video where this is announced and leave a comment there. Hopefully you're a subscriber because it is for subscribers. But last chance to get on that. The odds are amazing for you to do that because I get like 7 comments a video. So 1 in 7 is pretty good odds. Anyways, enough of me rambling. Let's get started. Let's bring on the boys here, the vinyl pundits. They're all with me here. We have a whole whack of people. Look at that in the top row. Glass Joe world record holder. If you follow Chris Roberts on Twitter or Instagram, you'll know what that's about. He's a new world record holder.
It's pretty amazing.
I am. Hey, it was verified this morning.
Awesome. And what do you get now? What's that get you?
Lots of fame and money and women, all kinds of stuff. I just back to the square thing. I've been wanting to be on top of Bandy for so long. Finally got to happen.
You're directly on top.
You know, all you had to do was ask, Chris.
I'm fearful of rejection. Sorry.
I guess so, because you guys have even like shared sleeping accommodations, and you haven't arranged this yet, right?
Sort of. Not as close as me and Curtis, but we have been within feet of each other.
Okay. So with Chris Roberts, we also have Kevin / Buried on Mars / YouTube's #1 Blu-ray ... What could it be? We don't know.
YouTube channel, #1 Blu-ray channel.
He's got lots of records too.
Oh yeah, that's too. I got everything.
Vinyl pundit.
Yeah.
And local West Coast porn star X, Matt Bandy X, is joining us with his big vinyl fists that he's bringing to the show.
Hello.
Hello. All right, guys, good to see you. Everyone's looking fresh and ready to go. It's been a while, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it been, over a week? Week and a half?
I think so. I've been to the record store. I can show you something new. I know Bandy's been sneaking stuff out on Twitter about stuff he's picked up. Chris Roberts.
Got a few things.
He's got a few things. Kevin?
Nothing new. No.
Okay. That's okay.
I haven't gone anywhere.
I've been looking forward to seeing.
But
actually, I did buy 2 CDs, but they didn't have the backs on them when they came in from eBay. So I sent them back. I got my refund.
Ugh.
Well, now to be fair, you ended up getting to keep them, did you not?
No, he's at first he said to keep them, and then I said, "Are you sure you want me to keep these?" I didn't really want to keep them because they didn't have the backs on them, so they're useless to me. You know, it would just be
but
annoying.
you could have looked for just cases. I mean, just empty. People sell those too.
I don't.
Very unlikely, maybe, but
I hate having half things around because now it's pressure to find the rest of it, and then what do I do? Like, if I do go out and I find, okay, here's a nice case. What do I do with the like the other CD? If the other CD's good or whatever, like it's just, I don't want that crap. I just want one thing. I don't want half things lying around. I hate it.
Are you saying it was missing the plastic part or like the artwork that goes in the bottom?
No, I was missing the artwork. The back artwork.
Yeah,
just
yeah,
that.
that's
like this. If you have the front, he's talking about the back artwork. Was it not missing the side as well? The end label as well?
That's part of the back.
Yeah, that's all. Right. It's all one piece.
Yeah, I can understand why that would be annoying because on the shelf you don't know what you're looking at.
You can't even put it on your shelf and say, "I'll fix that later." It's just going to be sticking out like a sore thumb.
Fair.
Yeah. No, I didn't want it. I was actually willing to pay the shipping to send them back to him because I didn't want them, but no, he paid for the shipping too. So.
That guy probably stole a book of somebody's CDs and was selling them.
He seemed like a really nice. He seemed like a really nice guy. He said that that's how he stored his CDs. Like he would only keep the book and the CD in a binder, and he would just throw the rest of it out, which is fine. But you got to put that in your listing. Like what he said in the listing was that he changed the jewel cases. They're not the original jewel cases, which is fine. I don't care about the jewel case. I know some collectors do, but as long as it's, in a nice, like I swap out old cases all the time, so that didn't bother me. But he didn't mention that the backs were missing on them. So anyways, it's all been resolved. It's all good.
Yeah, good on him for paying without fight to get it back to him because that's a big hit for a seller.
He refunded it, right? Look, it was $1.20 too. It was the shipping was by far the most expensive investment in this whole endeavor, so it wasn't anything crazy or that. So even if I was out the money or whatever, I was just more annoyed that I'd have these stupid CDs lying around.
Mm-hmm. All right, good stuff. Let me start. I normally start with something not necessarily vinyl music, but related to it, just so it can be a fun show, because I know that's really fun for people to see. And before, I've shown you other stuff like this, like wacky records that radio stations use, or for calibrating your system. And I like collecting that stuff because it's kind of like an artifact to a past time. And so this is kind of more in that vein. Have you guys seen this before? Ovation compatible stereo quadraphonic sound record right there. So this is like
Ovation.
When you
is it people clapping?
Yeah, kind of. When you first got your quad back in the day, like quadraphonic stereo, and everyone was blown away by 4 channels of separate audio, you like needed something to show it off, right? So you get an album like this that is specifically designed with 4 separate audio tracks. So like cut 1 is just sound effects of like whirlpool and a locomotive, motorcycles driving by. Didn't you guys ever have like a surround sound demo disc? That's what this is. You got people talking on sidewalks, so the microphone is just kind of walking around the sidewalk to get all the, the surround sound going on. And what else is on here? Fly Baby Fly. I don't know what that is. Orchestra stuff. Classical drag. Reflections. It's all just demonstration stuff for your quad, which was an insane technology for back then. As they were saying here on the back, even before the new sound was commercially practical and of interest to other than the dedicated audiophile, there remained the need for availability of quality equipment commercially produced that could play back this revolutionary environmental audio experience. And while that equipment was in the stages of research, the Ovation was making this stuff so you could show it off. So let's just see what's in here. Got a sleeve. It's nice. And they do say that this is compatible with stereo. So even though there is 4 separate channels, you can play it on your stereo equipment too without damaging the 4 tracks. So yeah, kind of neat. I don't know. I thought it was neat when I found it. So,
very neat.
Do you have a
I've never seen-
quadraphonic system to test it out on?
No way. No way. But I have played it on my stereo system. And I like that when the locomotive goes by and pans across. I love that stuff. But I do have those kind of demo discs for my like surround sound. So you'd get like a DTS demo disc and throw that in your Blu-ray player and it'd do all that kind of wild stuff. And it's fun. I like hearing that stuff.
I never had that. I only had it was like embedded in the Terminator 2 DVD. It had like a testing thing in it.
Was there? I had
On
that
mine,
DVD.
Yeah. The one that was like metal, like kind of cardboard metal.
I remember like those early releases, if you had the DTS track going, DTS had an awesome like starting bumper or sting.
Yeah.
Did the piano chords going and all the dust. They go, wah. I love that shit. Love it.
Yep.
I don't know if they still do that. Do they still do that with Blu-ray releases? I haven't seen it in a while.
Sometimes, not all the time. It's like pretty much every Blu-ray has some sort of uncompressed sound, unless you're getting something really old and rare. That's only in stereo or mono.
I actually I sat the older kid down and we actually watched like a grown-up movie together. We watched Almost Famous.
Oh, nice.
And I threw on the DTS audio for that because I only have the DVD version for it, and you can select between Dolby or DTS. You definitely always select DTS. And it started with that sting with the piano. I'm like, oh man, it's just the nostalgia rolling over me for that sound while she was, going through her phone like this. So, but she got won over from that movie very early on.
Nice.
Very early on, she didn't want to see it. It was too long. It was stupid, not interested. And then within 15 minutes, she's just glued to it. And yes, that's a win.
Nice. It is a long movie, but it flies by.
Yeah. I said, well, tomorrow night, we're going to watch the extended version.
Oh.
Anyways, I'm trying to just push her into some real music, really strong arming her in there anyway, how. So we'll start with that. Anyways, enough of me. Chris Roberts, what do you want to show us to start off?
Well, I went to the swap meet this morning and kept distant from everybody and kept all masked up, and I found some records. I'll start off with this one first because I wasn't even going to buy it, but the guy basically said, just take them all for $4. So wow. I was like, it's like, okay. And then later on, I realized, I guess this is kind of rare because it's missing because it doesn't have it's supposed to be a barcode on the back. So it's the Meat Puppets. And I guess
nice.
It's like about a $30, $35 record, something like that. So, maybe not with this little deal right here, but the record itself is very clean. And I've never heard it before, so I'm going to give it a try. Artwork's pretty cool, I guess. Anyway, so that was the one I almost left behind and turned out to probably be the most valuable out of all of them. But he had a pretty good amount of classic rocks. A lot of it I already had, but a couple didn't. I got this Joe Walsh record right here. And this dude's a trip. Opens up. And it's like full sides on both sides, I guess. This is actually the only one that didn't have I just noticed that right now when Bill was talking. This is the only one that didn't actually have a sleeve, but the record's still decent shape, I guess. And
records can survive without sleeves.
Yeah.
Is that the Been Good record?
Yes.
What's that one?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know if that's the title. I'm guessing it is, but that's definitely the album that has that song on it. No, it's actually But Seriously Folks is the name.
Oh, okay. That track
it
is
does
on
have
there.
Life's. Yeah, it does have Life's Been Good to Me, and that's my favorite solo song by Joe Walsh.
You know, it's funny.
I
I
heard
fucking
that,
hate the
Kevin's a
Eagles,
big-
but
Kevin's a big Eagles fan, though, right, Kevin?
Oh, yeah.
I learned that this week. Yeah.
Yeah, huge.
I love him. I actually don't
sorry.
mind the solo stuff. I like Glenn Fry and
I'm the same way, Kevin. Like, I hate the Eagles, but Joe Walsh's solo stuff I love.
Joe Walsh, yeah, it's awesome.
And like stuff with James Gang,
Yeah,
and even some of Don Henley's solo stuff. I was like,
yeah, I'm fine with it.
I heard a bunch as a kid, but I don't know what it is about that band. They suck.
Yeah, they suck.
And
That's what it is.
It's too mellow.
Oh, and that was so funny. The first time I saw The Big Lebowski, I was dying because I was like, that was like the first time. I'm like, oh my god, somebody else gets it.
And not only that, he would drive around listening to CCR instead of the Eagles. That's exactly what I'd do. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I'll finish it up with one more Joe Walsh record. This one's kind of a weird one because the record comes out at the top. I don't know. It's weird shit.
It's got a bunch of
Or
openings.
the bottom, I guess. Yeah. Well, besides that part. Oh, maybe that was it. Yeah, that sounds about right. But it actually looks like that was the real opening. I don't know. But anyway, I don't know anything about this album at all, and I didn't recognize any of the songs, I don't think. But I mean, as I said, it was $4 for like, I don't know, 6-7 records. So
Show us the front of it for.
Oh, did I not? Oh, here you go.
Oh,
Hey, look,
airplane
I'm not
on
looking
there?
at the camera. Yeah, it's got a little airplane. The smoker what is it? The smoker you drink, the player you get. There you go.
Sounds like a good album to me.
Yeah, and I'm sure, he was probably on one when he wrote that title, or someone did. These look like, but wouldn't you be happy if these guys knocked on the door to ask your daughter out? Any of them. Look at these guys. Like, I mean,
I don't know about
I'm
that
just
guy.
saying no. This guy right here.
Yeah.
Look at that. I don't know. But yeah. I mean, this guy looks, I don't know, man. That guy has bad intentions. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
That's the best face he could have for his album cover debut. I mean, I can't imagine Joe Vital was on very many other album covers. But anyways, there he is. All right. So that would be my start.
Did you ever see the
I like
episode of what was it? Whose Line Is It Anyway? Where Joe Walsh was on it?
No.
I
Really?
check that out. It was like a special they did. It wasn't like a normal TV broadcast. It was like some special they did, and Joe Walsh was on it, and he was really funny. Check that out.
He was on Stern not too long ago. He came in with Ringo. Him and Ringo when Stern was in California because they're
brother-in-law.
brothers.
Yeah,
brother-in-laws.
brother-in-laws.
Right,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
Blows my mind away. He has a lot of good stories, Joe Walsh. A lot of good stories. He's there for a lot of stuff. Anyways, how about Kevin?
Okay, well, if you remember last week, we wrapped up the Black Keys, and we're still in the black. And we're going now with Black Sabbath.
There we go.
So this is the album right here that started heavy metal.
Hit that sub button.
And believe it or not, are you ready for this? This album is still sealed.
Oh,
Ooh.
Kevin.
Ooh. What were you saying about me?
Was that the re-release with like alternate takes and stuff?
No. Okay. So
No, okay.
They did have that one, but it was like $75. So I did get it on CD. So I have it on CD.
Nice.
So I bought because it was way cheaper on CD, and then I just bought the plain old, album for. So that's why it's still sealed because I had been listening to the CD. So here we go.
Acceptable.
Let's see. I mean, I know this album off by heart. Really, I've been listening to this for forever in a day.
Is this a special release? Did you say it's not a record store day deal? Is it?
No, it's not. It's it's 180. So this is a 2012 remaster. It's 180 gram vinyl. I did not buy it in 2012. I got it maybe it's probably 2 years ago now. It's pretty sad that it's still sealed. But my intent is to take all my Black Sabbath and record them into FLAC files, but I just haven't got around to it yet. So here's the record in a plain paper seal, and yes, it is very heavy. There we are. I really should open these when I get them in case there is any sort of defects on them. I just kind of trust that there wouldn't be anything on there. So, but thankfully, I dodged the bullet there. And there is something else in there. Something else in here, I swear. Some sort of insert. Maybe there isn't. Maybe that's just a really nice inside in there. Wow. I don't think you need a sleeve for that. Look at that.
Oh.
That's like really smooth in there. I thought that was
velvet lined.
Yeah. I might need to spend some time with this later. That is a nice slit, as they would say.
Oh.
Well, that's what it is. Or slot. Maybe it's a slot. I don't know.
Slit slot, whatever.
Anyways, here's their second album, Paranoid. This is my copy from back in the day, of course. You can tell by the ring wear and all that. This has had many, many listens. This has the big gatefold in there. And hopefully there's a sleeve on this. Oh, yeah, of course there is. Oh, look at that. So it's a sleeve I added on there.
Most of the hits of that record are on side 1, but side 2, don't sleep on that. That is some good tracks there.
Well, side 2 has Fairies Wear Boots, which is probably my favorite Black Sabbath song.
That's a good one.
That is in some good shape for an old album. The whole thing is classic. And this is the insert from A&M Records that Bill remembers going to. I do not.
We all do. It's giant store.
Well before my time. And up next, we got Master of Reality.
Came out the same year.
Yep, 1970 was an excellent year. This is another original copy from back in the day.
Nice.
I always liked how the lyrics were on the back. Not many albums do that.
Mm-mm.
And yes, of course it has a sleeve. 'Cause I'm a real collector. And yeah, that's another one that's in good shape for an old record.
Good job.
All right. I got one more for this round. Next, we have Volume 4.
There we go.
Which I had just picked up last year. It was like the one that I was missing. So this is a reissue. I did not buy it new, though. I got it used. And it was really, really nice shape. This is a lot of people, they like this one the best. Say this is the best. I don't know. I think it's really good, but I don't think it's the best. And you got a lot of reading material there.
Because you need that.
Yeah, you need to read while you're listening to your Sabbath.
Right.
And there we go. There we go. Let's one Black Sabbath, Paranoid, Master Reality, and Volume 4.
All essential.
Yeah,
Yes.
Totally. Cheapers. That's a good start right there. All right. X Matt Bandy X, what are you going to follow that up with?
Oh, it's my
Yeah.
turn. I'm going to follow up with some I have been doing some vinyl adjacent stuff. I did get a new stylus a few days ago. I accidentally broke mine. Changing a record out. My I don't know what the hell happened. My finger, I hit it with my pinky finger and popped right off, busted.
Wow.
So there was.
At least you did it.
It was expensive, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's not cheap. So it was like, but I replaced it, and I was going to bring that in, but I hooked it up, so didn't bring it in. But I did get some new records in the mail 2 days ago. Was it 2 days ago? Or I don't know, it was a couple days ago. I ordered them a couple weeks ago, and they came sometime this week. But
Did you replace your stylus with the exact same one you already had?
Yeah, it was the exact same one. I thought about upgrading, but I was happy with what I had. But so I stayed with the one I had, which is Autophone 10 is what it's called. Okay, so I placed an order from $20 Spin, which is a record label out of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and so I pretty much placed an order for this band here. This is a new release from them by a band called Skeleton. I don't know anything about this band. I just heard this record a few weeks ago when it was first released. I heard a few tracks. I heard the first track off it and second track off of it, and immediately ordered it. I believe this is their first full length. I don't know if they had a demo out. I don't know where this band is from, but they play a black and thrash with heavily influenced by more like crossover thrash. So bands like Crumbsuckers, like Seasons of the Abyss era, Slayer, that sort of stuff, that kind of thrashy sound. But yeah, this album's, I've listened to it a few times and it's great. So it is on. There was two vinyl variants. It was this one and another. I guess more limited. It was still the same like color format, but it wasn't the splatter. It was more like I believe like all over swirl of these colors here, and I do like this splatter effect. I think it's pretty cool. Yeah,
very snazzy.
And yeah, so this record really kind of checks a lot of the boxes for me. Most of the songs are mid tempo to slow, and I like that a lot with black metal. I tend to like the black metal that's more slower, mid tempo. So that's very cool. And it came with just some inserts here and lyric sheets, but I don't know if you can tell on this. Can you see that? Does that look like English to you?
No, it looks like Gaelic.
No, yes, Jesus Christ. It's all like, it's in that old English font. And I first looked at it, I was like, oh my God, I thought this was an American band, but and then I looked at it closer, I'm like, okay, that is English. So that's going to be tough to read those lyrics. And then there was just another little bit about the band. So
their name is actually Skeleton.
Their name is Skeleton, yeah. And David Skeleton. Looks like there's David Skeleton and Victor Skeleton. I wonder if they're brothers. So yeah, that was a new discovery for me. This label puts out a lot of quality music. So whenever they put out a new record, I usually check it out, and if I like it, I'll buy it.
You could preview the music on the website, kind of thing.
Yeah, usually they'll link to the band's Bandcamp website where you can listen to, if the album isn't out already, they'll usually have it up for a pre-order, but you can listen to a few of the tracks. Usually they'll showcase a few of the tracks that will be on the record so you can get an idea of what the band sounds like. And then I picked up a few other records from $20 Spin's distribution. These are not $20 Spin bands, but they were selling their records on them. And this is a one-man black metal band by the name of Runespell. I haven't had a chance to listen to this record yet. This was recommended to me by a friend, and I pretty much just took his word on it and saw that this was up there. I listened to just a little snippet of this on YouTube. This isn't on any of the streaming services. It's not on Bandcamp, so it was kind of hard to track down the record like digitally, but oddly enough, it was kind of easy to find in this format here. So I haven't listened to the whole thing yet, but it's like a one-man atmospheric black metal with folk influences, like traditional European folk influences.
And he's just overdubbing himself over and over again?
I'm sorry?
He's just overdubbing himself over and over again? Laying multiple tracks?
I'm
you
sure.
Said one man. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah, well, they'll record all the tracks separately.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Very neat.
Yeah, that's a very common within black metal, the one man black metal band. So there's a picture of the gentleman there.
But how can he make money? Like all their money is made performing live, and how much live can he do? As
a lot of the one man black metal stuff, they've never performed live, and sometimes they'll get studio musicians, but a lot of times the one man black metal stuff, they don't perform live. It's strictly they just put out records, and a lot these guys really aren't in the music business to make money off of their stuff. They're just in it for the love of music and for a creative outlet. So yeah, I'm looking forward to listening to that. And the other record I got was a record that this came out in the late 90s. This had a reissue recently. And the name of the band is Solstice, and they are a British heavy metal, doom metal band, and this is their third or fourth. But I recently just found out about this band in the last 2 years. There's been a kind of a strange history with this band. They're not too well known outside of their area and outside of kind of really underground heavy metal, doom metal circles. They're getting a little bit more popular now with some of the re-releases of their stuff, and with their latest album got a lot of praise. But there have been very few members in the band. I think the guitar player might be one of the only remaining original members of this band, and they've changed vocalists at least 4 or 5 times. So it's like almost every record is almost kind of has a different sound to it. So there's like different eras of this band that I like more than others. All the stuff is pretty good. This record is great. The record after this, which is a different singer, and they which came out 2 years ago, and they now have since replaced that singer with a female vocalist, which will completely change this as well. So I'm just really excited to hear that. But yeah, this album's great, and it is on double discer on silver vinyl.
Woo! You know who else is excited about that?
Who's excited about that? Oh man, he's so excited. He knew I was going full Bandy. He's like, I'm getting the hell out of here with this weirdo shit. So yeah,
I like that silver though. Wow.
Yeah, it's good. And yeah, there's so there's 4 different sides, and on the D side there's the D side is 2 cover tracks. The Prophecy by Anti-Semex and Stormchild by Iron Maiden. So the little 2 bonus tracks that weren't on the original record. So yeah, I was happy to have this record finally. There you go. That was my order. My new stuff.
So that was from a place called $20 Bin. Is that what you said?
No, $20 Bin is the name of the record label.
$20 Bin.
Yeah, but they have. Go ahead.
Does that mean those are $20 each?
No. But a lot of their stuff, especially their releases, is right around like the $16, $18 mark. If it's a singles, yeah, their prices are really, really good. But yeah, they have a really good distribution where they will sell a lot of import records or other bands they're affiliated with. So yeah.
Well, very neat. We have lots of stuff going on this show.
Just you and me, buddy. Just you and me.
Kevin bailed, and I don't think Chris Roberts could handle being on top. Couldn't handle it.
No, he's not used to it. He's used to being on the bottom.
Bandy, and
he knows who deserves to be on top.
I learned my lesson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, now he's under me for some reason. How'd that happen?
Well,
very nervous.
I'm trying to lift you up, bud, with my presence.
Okay. Maybe I should remove Kevin because that.
Oh, what did we cut? Let's cut to Kevin. See what he has to say.
Let's cut to Kevin. Kevin, what do you think about that silver album that Big Bandy just showed? Oh,
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Really? Yeah. Not everyone can have that kind of charisma. You're right.
Way more compelling, frankly.
Mm-hmm. It's insightful commentary.
Yeah.
Well, maybe there was an emergency. We do not know, so we shouldn't make fun.
Hopefully everything is all right.
Hopefully everything's fine. He's fine.
Maybe Sarah's making him take out the trash.
Yeah, it could be trash day for sure.
He's probably blow drying his hair.
Oh, that's a Joe move right there. Wow.
It's a screen of shame.
What's up?
Nothing. Everything good?
Good. Yeah. I had a couple plums this morning.
Jesus.
So
no. You had to
with my system.
Give the guy his dignity, man.
You did.
I bored the shit out of him.
Literally.
You could have just, discreetly, went about your way, but you had to make a big deal out of it. So.
Well, you missed a Big Bandy episode, so you're gonna have to go back and watch that.
Oh, of course I will.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kevin even sent a private chat that I didn't see until just now. So.
Yeah, BRB, buddy. It's right there.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I apologize, Kevin. I didn't say anything bad, though. Nothing bad.
Okay.
All right. We're back. Let's get it moving. So I went to the record store today because it is July 31st. Do you guys remember what I said should be available July 31st?
Wait, record store days to July 31st?
I think you went to the record store today.
Oh, you went to the record store today. Okay.
Yeah, today. Record store today, July 31st. Because a certain album was supposed to be out.
Bob Dylan one.
Bob Dylan or something?
Yes. You are correct. Rough and Rowdy Ways should have finally been available to us Canadian purchasers at July 31st. But my independent store, did not get any. And he called around to all of his independent record store buddies in the area, and no one got any. No one. And this is from Sony Records. This is
Is this available in the States?
Yeah. And the online people would have got it today. Like Amazon, you could order it today, I imagine. But some people in the States got it midway through July. We were told to wait till July 31st, and then still nothing. So I was frustrated.
Do you want me to see if my local shop has a copy?
I mean, they're going to get it sooner or later. This is not like an independent thing that they're only making 500 copies of. It's a wide release, but I don't know what the deal is. Who dropped the ball with manufacturing or what? So anyways, I did get a chance to look around the store, which I did, and I did pick up something, which I can show you here. A brand new record. Well, new to me. It's still sealed though. And this was on the wall. Do you guys recognize this thing?
Oh, that is Stills,
Young?
right? Stephen Stills and Young?
Yeah, Kevin wins. The Stills Young Band, Long May You Run, source mastered from the original analog tapes. It was there for $25, which
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't think that's too. I looked it up quickly on Amazon. I think Amazon had it for 35 to 40 or something like that. And it's still sealed. It's got Long May You Run, of course, is probably the biggest thing on here. But Stills and Neil together, that's good stuff. Neil's playing guitars, piano, harmonica, string synthesizers, vocals. George Chocolate Perry is playing bass. You know George Chocolate Perry.
Sure. Who doesn't?
And someone that Chris Roberts already talked about. Well, Joey Vital is on here on the drums.
You have no picture.
Sorry.
He had his time and he blew it.
So they recorded this in 76. And Kevin, is this one of the ones they just never released, or is this a reissue from, it says 2016 on here, but is this one of those that they just never released?
I
and
don't
Neil's
think
finally
so.
getting around to doing it?
No, I think that one has been out, but it never got like a CD release or anything.
Okay, right.
As far as I can remember, I'm pretty sure it was just a vinyl thing back in the day, and that was it.
Yeah, I remember a few years ago he released, what was it, like 4 albums that never got put out on CD kind of thing.
Right.
So this must be one of those, maybe. I'm unsealing right now. If you were thinking about subscribing, surely
now's the time to do it.
Okay. Let's see here. Why don't I have myself full screen here? There we go. So we have the lyrics here on another sleeve.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sleeve.
Yeah. See, that's why you do it, and then they put it in the paper for you.
Then they put it in the paper.
That's how collectors collect.
No code in there or anything, unfortunately. Yeah, polyline paper sleeve. No fancy splatter or anything, but that looks good. Whoa, I'll take that. So I didn't think that was a bad deal. This record store I'm going to in Barrie is called BJ's Records and Nostalgia. And normally he used to be really super expensive. He was unabashedly way more than the online guys. And he'd just say, well, look, we're bricks and mortar. We got to charge more. But now he's taking a different approach and is undercutting the online guys. So you got to respect that. And that's why
I'm way to compete.
Quite a bit more. And I'll wait for him to get the Bob album in, because that Bob album on Amazon is over $40 for some reason. So hopefully he gets it a little bit cheaper.
Well, even if he sold it at the same price, you'd have the peace of mind of it not getting destroyed on the way. So you should at least match. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. 100%. Although I've never had an issue with an Amazon order. In fact, I just came off overnights and I got bored and made some impulse purchases on Amazon, which you'll see here maybe in a month or so. And Big Bandy's going to go crazy when he sees what I got. I shopped overseas through Amazon.
Speed metal.
Oh, I have an idea.
So I'll move on with some Clapton. Some Clapton crotch.
I say, what's going on there?
That's a mammal toe right there.
Very suggestive with the cigarette too. Perfect placing.
Yeah, I don't know what he's trying to say. I love the back here. I love it when they do this, the diagram of who everyone is.
That's pretty cool.
I like that. Again, Eric's just like, whatever. And tassels for days on this guy.
Who's that guy 2 over from that guy with the tassels?
Pants?
Yeah, who's that guy?
That guy is number 7. That's Clark. No, that's Leon Russell. Excuse me.
Is it?
Guy with the pants is Leon Russell. And beside him, number 6. Yeah, that's Clark right there. He works the equipment.
Who's that douchebag in the middle?
He just has one name there, Clark. I don't know if you can
Just
see
Clark.
that. Just Clark. So yeah, you got Leon Russell on here, Jim Price on trumpet, Bob Keys, sax. Oh, and who's number 9? 9. This guy. Do you know who that is? Number 9 is that's Eddie. He's a friend.
All right.
Yeah.
Go Eddie.
Go Eddie. Okay. Let me see what's in here. Uh-oh.
Sleeveless.
It's still in wonderful shape. Wonderful shape. But that does give me an opportunity to use one of my new sleeves. And I don't know, did we talk about these sleeves? Because they are amazing.
We did.
From Vinyl Style. I got these off Amazon. They're not a Prime item, so you have to pay extra shipping, and they take a little while longer to get here.
Do you know where those came from?
I don't. But they are fantastic, man. Because there was so many different sleeves you can get. Paper sleeves and round sleeves and plastic sleeves. And this is just the perfect hybrid of plastic and paper. It's so easy to work with.
Chris, you know Cheap Thrills in San Luis Obispo?
Yes.
They have an online store where they sell sleeves and stuff like that. And I think that actually might be their brand.
That's amazing if it is.
I think it might be. I think that's what they call that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, and then on Amazon, I think there's just $24 plus shipping, though. So not bad for 50 sleeves of that caliber. Okay. And I will keep going. Like I said, we've been peppering Grateful Dead stuff in rather than just having a whole big Dead show. So here's another one. Grateful Dead, Houston, Texas, 72. It was a record store day deal. The legendary Fall of 72 tour with the exquisite version of Playing in the Band, which Chris Roberts knows is pretty exquisite.
Oh, yeah. Big time, I think.
Bill, were you at that show?
Aha. Aha. I love the artwork. The artwork's cool. It's like on a cardboardy paper. Big old gatefold here. And Dead in the 70s, especially early 70s, is awesome. You got some media printouts there, as well as an essay from David Lemieux. He's the current Grateful Dead archivist. He's in charge of all of their archive. He picks what's coming out next, and You can watch him on the Grateful Dead YouTube channel. He's got quite a story. He went from a guy who followed the Dead around as a teenager from city to city to becoming their chief archivist. Just 2 tracks on that one. And 3 tracks on this one. The label's got some cracking around the spindle there. A defect of manufacture, I imagine, somehow. Just a 2-discer. Let's get that other one out. And here's that, Chris Roberts was wondering about it, the exquisite playing in the band track right there. Look at that. 25 minutes of playing in the band.
That sounds about right for one of their songs.
This is good stuff. This is so good. Love it. And just keep going a little bit further. Bear with me since I have another one coming up here. I don't remember when I got this or why, or if it's a record store day thing. It might be. I don't know. Grateful Dead cordially invite you to a rare and important musical performance at the Great American Music Hall. This is 75. Great things happened in that year, I can tell you. So that makes this album that much more special. Like, you got a big Steal Your Face right there. You got the boys there. Wonder, should this be like this?
Yes.
No, that doesn't look right.
I've seen it in the store with that invitation on the cover.
That looks cooler, though.
You got the God Shows are still in the band at this time. You got some Donna singing. Side B of disc 1. It must have been the Roses into Eyes of the World and drums. That's a side of a record right there. Holy mackerel. And we got 3 of them. 3 discs in here. Let's just pick one to look at. I wonder how much I paid for this thing. There's that side I told you about. That'd be awesome. Must have been the Roses. What?
That's ridiculous, man.
Eyes of the World. Come on, Chris Roberts. You don't like any jam bands?
It's 24 minutes of jamming, 60 seconds of lyrics. And I guess the answer is no. I don't know. I mean, it's a lot. If you want to hear someone gush over the Grateful Dead besides you, Bill, Bill Walton, which is ironic, you guys share the same name, basketball legend. Man, I've seen him in interviews. They want to talk to him about basketball, and somehow the Grateful Dead gets brought up, and that's all the guy wants to talk about. Big Grateful Dead fan.
My favorite is when Howard Stern will complain about jam bands and how much he hates them. And then he'll go on about Cream and how great Cream is. And Cream was one of the greatest jam bands of all time.
Yeah. He has no idea they had a live career.
No. They came out with a couple albums. That's all he knows.
So on the Grateful Dead YouTube channel, they do live streams once a week. They'll do a vintage show, and then they'll also do like a new show with John Mayer fronting the band. And before each show, they'll have an interview show. They'll have either someone who, a crew member or someone else close to the band. And one week they had John Mayer on, who is like playing Jerry Garcia's part. So he's a major part of the new band, Dead and Company. And his backdrop was nothing but cassettes. It was an entire wall of cassettes, and not face out. They were spines. And so nothing but spines. Like Chris Roberts, you flipped a number of those. What do you call those cassette cases that people hang on their walls?
There's a specific brand.
Right.
It's the Napa Valley.
Right.
And if you see those anywhere at a yard sale, especially if it's like $10, or if it's the big ones, the 100 rack, you want to pick that up anywhere in the 20 or less zone, because it's about $50 to $70 on a flip.
Hey,
and
if you come across some of those, holler at me.
Holler.
I will. Also, if we are video game adjacent, they fit Dreamcast games in. I mean, not Dreamcast, but Genesis games in there perfect. And Master System, a couple other will fit in there, but specifically Genesis fit in there perfect. So
yeah, those I've seen those before. Those are nice.
Yeah,
good quality product.
So yeah, imagine like he had an entire wall of it. It was just an entire wall. And of course they never brought it up until the very end of the interview. I'm like dying to find out what the hell is the deal with that thing. So there's awesome. over 3,000 tapes, and they're all Grateful Dead live tapes that people have taper tapes. No. No, you don't.
I thought he was cool for a second.
Because back in the day when you traded tapes, right, you didn't just get the tape. A lot of times people drew artwork and shit on it. And cool. If you got a low gen tape, it was like a piece of gold, like to get that. And imagine, so he has 3,000 of them. He said he bought them all at once at an auction, and it was actually part of an art installation. So, and he doesn't have a cassette player, but he's looking to get one. But the backdrop looked amazing. Nonetheless.
That sounds like Joe.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're interested to see what that looks like, check out the Grateful Dead channel. Look for the John Mayer live chat.
You ever listen to any of the John Mayer Trio stuff?
Barely.
It's good.
I mean, he's matured with this Dead band. Like early on stuff, you could tell he was finding his way, but now it is, they can go. Holy mackerel, they can go. It's really good.
What do you think the upside for him in that is? I mean, he was already his own brand.
He loves the music.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's the music, Chris Roberts. Why don't you understand?
I don't know, man, but he had all those housewives just sticking tons and tons of cash in his pocket.
He's still working off the side too. But I would love to find out what is like, do they pay you, or do you own a piece of that new band? Like, how does that work?
He has to get points on the new band, I'm sure.
Are you an employee? Are you like what? So I don't know. Anyways, should move on. The box is all changed on me. I think Chris Roberts is next.
Yeah, I'll start off with some adjacent stuff, which means not adjacent in any way. But I went to Fandango. They have records there, and I usually, when I go there, I gravitate towards like the VHS and the games first, just to do the. I would be more heartbroken if one of those things went out. And there's this guy. He was digging through stuff, and he was ahead of me. So, I knew pretty much. I kind of had to get ahead of him. Couldn't get around him. Nonetheless, he started pulling out horror tapes and putting them back. So as he would put them back, I would just go ahead and grab them. And it started off, harmless enough. Like, this is nothing, but, it's a good trader. And then he gets a little better with the Halloween, which, again, it's, $6, $7, not worth a lot. And mind you, he has his phone out, so he is kind of checking things. I don't know. I mean, I thought I noticed eBay, but then he also had a collector app up too. So then, and it's like right as I saw it, he saw it, and he pulls this up, and this is there's multiple variants of this copy, and there's actually one that's a little bit better that has a stripe right here that says stereo. And this one just has it right here. So this is actually the second print, but this is about a $50 tape. And before he could get a chance to kind of look it up, I was just like, I just started making small talk. Hey man, what exactly are you looking for? And he starts talking about, he's looking for Jurassic Park. And I'm trying to like rack my brain. Did I see a Jurassic Park on the shelf? And like, no, but then I knew another store up the street that had one because I was there earlier. So I'm like, hey, that one up the street, you can get 5 tapes for $2 there. And he goes, really? And I'm like, yeah. So then he just reluctantly goes, well, do you want this one? And I'm like, yes, thank you very much. So I snagged that one. And it's a long shot. But, dude, if you're looking, I went back for you. And I even picked you up part 2. So if you need them and you happen to tune in, just DM me,
What a
and these
guy.
are yours.
What a
Sorry,
guy.
man. I knew
A
this would have been
gentleman.
a nice flip for you, but you have to do what you got to do. And then since we were on the topic of male bulges earlier, I did pick up this pretty good album, and it also has some horror adjacent aspects to it because it was featured sort of in American Psycho. And if you look real close, I don't know what Huey's holding, but it looks pretty impressive. I don't know. There's a lot of shadow. There you go. I mean, that's a big boy. I don't know what's going on there.
Woof.
Yeah. So pretty good album. I mean, anyway, Hip to Be Squares on it. I guess that was probably the biggest. Well, Stuck With You's on here too. There's a couple good hits on here, but ultimately, I just got it for the bulge. So
Sure.
I love.
And
that
then yeah, I think it's a pretty good album. And this one I got this was in that bundle I got today. Not the cover itself isn't in very good condition, but the record looks pretty clean. It's got the original sleeve, and here's a Bon Jovi.
Oh, nice.
I believe it's Runaway, I think is the name of the album. It doesn't say on here, but when I looked it up, it looked like, but it's an early Bon Jovi album. But
That's their first full length.
Yeah, I thought so. I didn't know if they had anything that I wasn't aware of, but I thought that was their big first album. And these are the guys. This is what the 80s girls wanted right here.
Oh,
I loved that band as a kid.
Look at that. I mean, this guy's all machismo. He will make you pregnant. And very clean record too. It was very nice. I mean, the sleeves kind of falling apart a little bit, but ultimately, and this was the only one he wanted a little extra for. He initially wanted $4 for this, but then he sold me all of them for $4. So I don't know what happened. I wasn't going to question him. I was just like, okay, here's the money, man. I even gave him a 5, thinking just keep the 5. And he was adamant that I took the change. And you mentioned something about a cardboard. I think this is a similar material as you were talking about with the cardboard aspect earlier, but this Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. And if you notice, Crosby, he used to bang Joni Mitchell, and she actually drew this. So
you betcha.
check that out. It's pretty cool. And she was a good looking woman.
They all had a crack at her.
How is Crosby banging chicks?
I'd have no. That's because you're a rock star. If you're a rock star, you could look like David Crosby. You know what's that? Etheridge, that one lady. Her and her.
Oh yeah, didn't he like get her pregnant or something?
No. Her and her partner like got his sperm, right? He donated sperm for them to have their kid. And I'm thinking, genius wise, you're on point, but man, that kid's gonna look ugly. With her, if it was her, I think it was her partner's egg. I don't know what her partner looked like, but yeah. So, but anyways, pretty good album, I guess. I mean, I'm not a big fan of them, but I do like some of these songs. And it's got Woodstock. It's got Teach Your Children. I don't know. If I feel like being bored, I'll put this one on.
It's good. And Crosby was a handsome man back in the day.
No.
Birds days? Come on.
No.
The long hair. He's a rocker.
Okay. I mean, hey, whatever you're into, Bill.
By the way, that kid died, eh?
Did he?
I know a big downer, but yeah. He passed away like just earlier this year. Just a few months ago.
I didn't know. Oh, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Okay, well, he's going to go back and edit that part out. So
I don't think he said anything too bad. He was actually a good looking kid. I'm looking at him now.
Was he?
Yeah.
Man. All right. Well, R.I.P., I guess. And then he also had a Joni Mitchell. I believe this is a greatest hits album because it's a double album. And I like her. It's got Big Yellow Taxi and her version of Woodstock, which I'm assuming that was the original version. Just a bunch of stuff. There's some weird shit going on, though. I don't know if both of these are supposed to be in the same deal because it only has one opening, or maybe the back one's tore. I don't know what the hell's going on, but
sometimes they shove 2 in one slot.
Yeah, because because it opens up. It has like a second. Oh, here it is. There is another one, but it has like a little doodad here in the middle where you get a little bit of extra here. So that's kind of cool. It's almost like a book. But I actually did find the second input right here. And then we'll go ahead and do that. I have got both of Joni's inputs. So Anyway, and the records are really nice. I mean, the covers themselves, I mean, you could tell the guy used them. I mean, he didn't really store them well, but the albums are really good shape. So, got a little Joni Mitchell there. And then,
those are great finds.
One more adjacent thing. So I had this one from a few weeks back, a month or so back. I got this at a estate sale. And then I found another one at another estate sale. So, and it's variant. So I have to keep them both. No, I'm just going to keep it there. One's cleaner. And the other one, I don't even know. I think they're worth about $10, but maybe whenever you read.
When you showed that, my parents had that exact same cleaner. And I completely forgot until you showed it. I was like, oh, I'd forgotten all about that. And I remember always seeing that as a kid.
They got the
little thing in the
the little deal in the middle, the cleaner for the cleaner, and the inside. It's pretty cool. Maybe whenever you reach 1,000 subs, I'll give away one of these.
Whoa.
So that's big time right there. A vintage disc washer. Okay. So, I mean, and it's their CIB. Well, then be a subscriber.
Yeah, you have to enter.
You got to enter. You got to enter to win. But the CIB, they both got the instructions and all the deal. I'm sure the fluid's probably toast, but anyway, one more last thing, and before we move on, also got these. These are pretty cool. Found these at Swap Meet today. So these like original Nintendo Power patches. Which
sure
this
Dano
one's kind of like.
Those?
Pretty sure. I know he was eyeballing him because I sent him a thing, and he was a little thirsty for him. Definitely want. I mean, they're a set, so I'll probably just keep them all because it's a set of 4. But these are cool. 2 are the cool ones. I like these the best right here.
Those are vintage.
Yeah, 1980, 1988.
Wow, that's awesome, man. That's cool.
Yeah, they're all original. I think a buddy. You had to get them. You had to get them from Swap Meet. Actually, a buddy of mine. He don't listen, so there's no real need to mention. But my buddy Mark actually grabbed them for me. We kind of look out for each other, even though he's a video game collector too. He's really kind of gravitated towards more of like the hip hop culture and local. He's really into collecting like Fresno stuff, like Fresno State or just local memorabilia. So he's kind of slowing down a little bit on the game. So sometimes something like that will come by and he knows that his wife's going to kick him out if he doesn't start getting rid of something. So I benefit.
Those are awesome.
Yeah. And also got this too. This was pretty cool.
Oh, that's a good game.
It's just it's got this really cool graphic style. And with the way Wii games are going up, even though this is still about the $14, $15 range, there's a couple high marks at 20, but for the most part, it's probably about a $10 to $15 game. And the guy wanted 5, and honestly, I didn't even feel like haggling with him. I just felt bad for him looking at his booth. This is probably the only $5 he made all day, and it's complete. So I went ahead and grabbed it. It's got a really cool art style to it. It's black and white, and it's really kind of hard to see with the reflection, but it's just pretty cool. And it's like ultra violent, which was a little bit out of the norm for Nintendo. As we know, they're more of a family oriented deal. So it's kind of cool.
It's a platinum game too.
There you go. See, we got all the knowledge here.
Damn.
You got to
subscribe button.
Yep.
Hit the like button. I just put up a pickup video actually today where I picked up some Wii games. If you want to check that out, check out the other videos on this channel.
Got to watch them all.
Nothing as violent as yours, but they're okay.
Hey, keep working at it. You'll find a violent game.
All right, Kevin, how you doing? You holding in there?
Yep.
You holding up?
Yep, good to go.
I was trying to think. Stern had someone on this week who had a good pooping story.
It's probably Ronnie.
No, it was an actual A-lister. It'll come to me, but he was on a golf course and ended up bad
shitting his pants. Yeah.
It'll come to me. I'll fill you guys in later.
All right. Well, I can't wait for that. So I already screwed up my first show off here. The Black Sabbath original. It is a gatefold, so I ended up taking the plastic off here.
There you go.
Oh,
Got the inverted cross there.
That's dope.
That's what got him in trouble.
that's trouble.
Of course.
That was Jesus people did not like that. And
They're coming for your babies.
It did have an insert in it. So like Bill's, it came with the paper sleeve, put your record in, and then so you preserve that.
That's really
And
cool.
a make-believe sleeve.
That
That's not
is
bad.
so, you preserve it. So it's good. Okay, so believe it or not, next I actually have 2 copies
Nice.
of Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath.
That's my
because
favorite.
It's a really excellent
Yeah.
one.
I think I need that one. So if you have an extra,
Well, let me tell you what happened. I was at a thrift store. No, a hawk shop. I was at a hawk shop in Sudbury, and I found this one. It was. I'm not gonna tell you how much I paid for it now because if Bill wants it, I gotta make some money off that. But I found it for a price where I could not pass it up, and I couldn't remember if I had a copy or not. I could, and it was before I was keeping track. So when I got home, I'm like, crap, I got 2 copies. So I ended up listening to my original copy, and it's absolutely fine. And so then this one is still sealed. It's still wrapped up in there. So Bill, if you want it, it's not going to be too much of a discount.
$5.
Sounds like a connection problem. Is your doorbell on again?
I heard Anyway, so I was thinking about opening it, but I better leave it sealed if I'm going to resell it.
That might make a good piece of wall art too. Get a little frame for that.
Yeah.
That might have colored vinyl in it. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. We'll never know.
You made me open up my ultra rare.
That's because you only had 1 copy of it. But here's the original. There, it's got the lyrics on there.
What the hell?
Look at that. Pretty nice, eh? There you go. So there you go.
Bandy said it takes no value off to open them up.
Yeah, I don't buy that. I mean, I respect Bandy, and he's got a lot of good knowledge about the records, but I don't buy it. So I'm gonna leave that sealed.
God, you guys host me so bad.
Hey, I opened up my other record that I only had 1 copy of, and of course I opened it up so I can listen to it. That one, I think I better consider reselling that or selling it or whatever you guys do. Yeah, I'll put that away later. Okay, next, I know Matt Bandy showed this in the past, but here it is. Speaking of, since we're talking about bulges today, might as well just show off Bill Ward's bulge.
Bill Ward's bulge.
One more time.
That record just turned 45 yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, I should have done something about it.
Hmm.
This is a really good one too, man. This is like really the last masterpiece.
Yep.
As a Canadian, how do you pronounce the title of that?
Well, it depends on which. If I'm on the Enterprise, it's a Sabotage.
Right.
But if I'm on the Enterprise D, it's Sabotage. And that is a salute to a classic William Shatner bit, where he's in a recording studio and he's doing some VO, and the producer stops him and says, "You pronounce sabotage or sabotage. It's sabotage." And William Shatner just says, "That's how I say it. It's sabotage."
Sabotage.
And he stuck to that.
Yes.
Shatner was 1 take, man. 1 take. That was it. That's all you got. And next we got Never Say Die, which is the Black Sabbath album with the best cover and the crappiest music.
Yeah. That album, it has some good songs on it.
It
it's
does.
not the best.
Okay,
Yeah.
I do like Never Say Die. Never Say Die is
Yeah.
fine. It is a ripoff of what is it? Foreigners. Damn it! It sounds very much like a Foreigner song.
Okay, I'll have to listen to that. I used to listen to a lot of Foreigner as a kid, so I'll have to listen
Or
to that.
it's almost like Thin Lizzy if I think about it. The boys are back in town.
Okay.
So maybe not Foreigner. Maybe I'm thinking of Thin Lizzy. And then what the heck's the other good song on here?
Well, Johnny Blade is a good song. Always like that one.
And Hard Road. I do like a Hard Road. But that's it. And this one I bought. It was in a lot with a bunch of other records. So the record itself, I don't know if you can see, it's kind of scratchy. Not bill level scratchy, but it's got some surface scratches on there. It's one of those records that looks okay, but then you play it and it just sounds like very scratchy. But like I paid like next to nothing for it. It was in a lot. I just paid $30 for like 50 records or something crazy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I went to a friend's house. They're like, I got a bunch of vinyl records. And so I was flipping through them and I was like, I'll take the whole lot. There was like 50 records in there. I'll just take the whole thing. And he's like, well, how much? And it's like, well, if you're going to ask me how much I'd pay for them, I said $30. And they're like, yeah, okay, that sounds good. I'm like, oh, okay. That's a good haggle. And did I show this one, The Past Lives? Did we talk about that one? I think
no.
I showed that. Okay.
I've seen that at my local record store. Is that what is that one? It's
okay.
Alternate takes or
no?
Okay, so what this is? It's a live album.
It's okay, it is a live album. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So in the late, in the late 70s, early 80s. Well, when Ozzy left Black Sabbath, Black Sabbath came out with a live album with Ozzy Osbourne on it. That was a double live album. I always thought it was called At Last, and I always thought it was a Dio album because it came out during the Dio era, but it's actually Ozzy, and that's when Ozzy got pissed off, and then he released Speak of the Devil, which was him and his band doing a bunch of Black Sabbath covers just to compete with Black Sabbath because they were just fighting all the time. Anyway, so that album got re-released as Past Lives because it was never really like it wasn't like it was rushed out very hastily, and so this was like a nice re-release that they did in 2003.
Is that different shows or all from one show?
They're all different shows.
Okay. From all different time periods too, or?
No, I think it's like mostly from one time period. And then I remember the last two. Maybe this is from 2002. This is a reissue from 2006. And if I remember correctly, yeah, it just says recorded live at various locations and dates in the 70s. So it could be from any time.
Yeah.
The 70s was a decade of 10 years. So but it's these are 180 gram vinyl records. They're heavy. It's good. They're good shows.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it all sounds great. It doesn't sound like bootlegs or anything like that.
Nice.
Okay, and just one more, just to finish off the Black Sabbath. I got a deal one. Which one do I have? Matt Bandy, do I have?
Mob Rules?
Yeah, that's one I got.
Yeah.
Mob Rules. Again, this was picked up in the same lot with the other one, so it's not the greatest condition. I would like to replace it at some point and make this wall art because I have always liked this cover.
Yeah, such a cool.
It's pretty creepy. I don't know if Sarah will actually let me put that up on the wall though.
It's so different than all other album art too.
Yeah. But this one, yeah, I think I remember it being a little bit scratchy too. Like it doesn't look bad, but I think it's just how they probably just left it out or something, and it got a bunch of dust on it. Once you get dust in that grooves, that's it, you know. And I did clean them.
You have a disc washer.
No, I did clean them, but you know, sometimes it just
with a vintage disc washer.
It wasn't a vintage disc washer. It was the one I have. Yeah. Okay, that's it for this round.
That's the Black Sabbath round right there.
Yep.
Good stuff. Worth a
That's
subscribe right there.
Yeah.
I had a bunch of things I was going to say, and they all jumbled together in my head, and they're all gone. So
That's good.
I'm just going to pass it on over to Matt Bandy.
I'm here for you, Bill.
Go ahead.
So I just realized that I haven't showed anything by arguably my favorite heavy metal band of all time. Does anyone care to wager a guess on who this is?
Barry Manilow.
Close.
I thought it was Black Sabbath.
Yeah, Black Sabbath is up there, but if you had a gun to my head, this is the band I'd say.
Judas Priest? I don't know.
Iron Maiden.
Nope.
No.
Oh. Slayer.
Oh.
Slayer.
Really?
Yes. So Slayer is my all-time favorite heavy metal band. And they might even be my all-time favorite band of all time.
I sense a big Bandy coming here.
No, I'm not gonna go full Bandy on here. Not
Yeah,
full Bandy.
Bandies.
No, but so this is the Seasons in the Abyss record. This came out in 1990. This is probably my favorite Slayer record. Most people gravitate and go to Rain and Blood or Hell Awaits or South of Heaven, but this is my favorite Slayer record. I believe this was still produced by Rick Rubin. It is, yeah. This was produced by Rick Rubin as well. He, I think, first produced the Rain and Blood record, so this was one of the first Slayer records that I ever heard. So that's probably part of the reason why too. Yeah. As far as like out of all the big four bands with Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth, and Anthrax, to me, Slayer's stood the test of time out of all those bands by, as far as like quality of their releases and never really straying too far from their sound, but still making good records. I've always said that Slayer's only really made one bad record, and that was the Diabolica in Musica, and that came out like in 96, 97, around that time. They had a lot of new metal influences on that record, and even Kerry King, the guitar player, has come out and said like he doesn't like that record, and it's my least favorite Slayer record. But yeah, they I guess have officially called it quits. They're no longer going to tour or play shows anymore, and they had their farewell tour at the end of 2019, and I unfortunately did not get to see them. I've seen them a few times. It was actually my very first concert that I went to was a Slayer show when I was 15 or 14 years old, and it was all downhill from there, I guess you'd say. But,
well, that guy, the lead guy, he messed up his neck, right? Like he's all like that's what he can't play anymore or something.
Oh, Tom, really? I hadn't heard that. I don't know. It could be. Yeah, I know because Jeff Hanneman died a few years ago, and they replaced him with Gary Holt from Exodus and was he playing Testament? Anyway, but so it wasn't. It was. They were kind of getting towards the end anyway, and they've been a band for how many years and touring all that time, and they just wanted some time off. But even the last record they put out, Replantless, was great. It was so good, and just the quality of their releases has been like top notch their whole career, except for that one stinker.
Have you seen? I posted a video. I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. It was Body Count covering Rain and Blood. It was really good, man. It was incredible.
I'm trying to think if they. Do you remember the soundtrack for Judgment Night?
Judgment Night.
It was a movie from like the early 90s, and it was a mix of hip hop and heavy metal. Yep. And this was like before like new metal was a thing. And so they had like Ice-T.
Yeah, I was gonna say Ice-T was in it.
Ice-T and Slayer did a song together.
Yeah.
and then like House of Pain and Helmet did a song together. So it's like these like hip hop bands, and then like a lot of like 90s heavy metal stuff. So it's okay. I'm real nostalgic for that soundtrack. But yeah, Ice-T's Body Count is the last two records that Body Count have put out are great.
Yeah.
And they just put out a record maybe a few months ago. I haven't heard it yet, but it's Body Count, so it's gonna be good.
Body Count's like they always get thrown into the metal / rap, but I always found them to be like 85% metal and only maybe 50% rap. Like Ice-T really sing like he sounds like a metal guy when he's in that band. And they're incredible to watch, man.
You know, it's funny. I had a dream about Body Count a few nights ago that I completely forgot about. I had this dream that I was at this warehouse and fucking Body Count starts playing, and I talked to Ice-T. Yeah, why not?
Why not?
I actually saw Ice-T. He came to my college and gave not like a lecture, but like a spoken word performance, and talking about his life and growing up as a kid, and then getting into acting and stuff. It was great. He talked about Body Count a little bit. It was. He's a neat, interesting guy.
I saw Ice-T in New York filming SVU.
Nice.
And I had to tell off one of his producers because they were trying to tell me I couldn't stand there. And I'm like, I'm on a public street, motherfucker. You can't do shit. So, pretty cool.
I always found it really ironic that the cop killer guy went on to play a cop on TV.
Yeah. Complete sellout.
Okay, so my next record is my Kevin pick of the week.
Okay, I got my pen ready.
Ooh.
So this is a band from Croatia.
Oh, those Croats.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite country.
And they are called Speed Claw. And
Oh my
Look at that art. Holy
yes,
mackerel.
so good. Speed Claw are a speed metal band. And so if you're not too familiar with speed metal, it's a different genre than thrash metal. So speed metal was kind of like right before thrash got big. And speed metal is picture like the speed of thrash metal, but more with the guitar tone and the aesthetics of like new wave or British heavy metal bands, like Iron Maiden and stuff like that. So it's like the transition between new wave or British heavy metal and thrash metal. But these guys are great. I just randomly gave this band a listen a few years ago. They're on a great label called Shadow Kingdom. They put out their demo. That's where I first heard that, and it's great. They're very Europeans do speed metal very well. I think sometimes when American bands do speed metal, it comes off as a little like they're kind of trying too hard, like with the image and the music, and just like the European speed metal bands, it seems more like, I don't know, they don't take themselves as serious. But yeah, this is a fun record, and it's on a nice red vinyl. Yeah, this is a fun listen. And Kevin, I think you might dig this band.
All right, I wrote them down.
My Kev pick. There's just the lyrics and a little. Let's see if there's anything else. Nope, that's it. I'll put that away. And let's see. I will show. So there hasn't been any nudity on the show yet, and I know we promise weekly nudity, so I'm going to show some.
Great.
I'm going to show some. So here come your boobies, right there. It's a painting, but there's there might be a little bush there too. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah.
So this is a band called. I don't know if they're called. It's RIP. So I don't know if I've never really heard them say what their name is. I don't know if it's RIP or RIP. But this is a they're a doom metal band from Los Angeles, but they call themselves Street Doom. So this is they're like a doom metal band, but like from like kind of the grimy image of LA. They kind of have that almost like a cholo vibe to their stuff too. But this was put out by Writing Easy Records. This is a really interesting stuff. It's kind of hard to describe this band. They're pretty wild.
I think it's definitely R.I.P. because it has the
Yeah.
period.
Yeah,
I got the dots in there.
Yeah.
yeah. So the lead singer, he always has this his mic stand is you can see it's a scythe. Like it's a legit rusty ass scythe that he always has. Yeah.
That looks like a lawsuit waiting to happen right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, get a tetanus shot before I use that.
That falls off the stage. There's some problems.
I believe this is on. Yeah, this is on purple,
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, that's
clear
cool.
purple vinyl. Yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, this band. This is another band that they don't really. They come off looking hard, but they don't really take themselves too serious. It's the image for these guys is almost kind of comical, and they play
They
that
look
up.
like the type of people Charles Bronson would be shooting.
Yeah, probably. So it's double discer, and on the back they have this. This is a blank
nice.
side, but it has the embossed RIP. This was their first record. They had a record that came out a few years ago called, I believe it's called Street Doom, and it's them sitting in a lowrider with a bunch of Mexican blankets and ponchos on. So it's a weird. They're a weird band, but yeah, it's kind of hard to describe this band. It's a mix of doom and stoner, and yeah, it's weird stuff, but it's cool. Let's see.
You have a big stoner collection, don't you?
Kind of, yeah.
Kevin?
I listen.
No.
I
I
listen-
was thinking about Kevin here.
Oh,
He has to. Come on, Kevin. Where's
What's
your stoner? You don't
what's
know
a stoner
stoner?
collection?
I don't. Oh, come on.
What's a stoner collection? I have like Black Sabbath. They're kind of a stoner rock. I don't know what do you mean. What's a stoner collection?
I have no idea. Put you on the spot.
All right, I'm gonna look it up.
Of course, you have
I
one.
mean,
Bitch. You're in the know. You know things.
When it comes to drugs and that, I have no idea what's going on, man. I seriously like see
like stoner metal. It's like bands like Sleep, bands like
Okay.
The Sword, bands like Caius.
Caius, yeah,
yeah.
I like Caius.
So that's like a stoner rock and stoner
Sure.
metal.
yeah.
Yeah,
I like
that's
that stuff.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so I haven't shown any Canadian stuff yet, and usually I will show at least one Canadian band per episode. And this episode, I'm gonna show all of my records real quick by this band. This is an interesting band. They're from Toronto. They are called Fucked Up is the name of this band.
It's a catchy title.
And so this band has been around for quite a while. I got to see them, fortunately, one time in Chicago. Their releases, they were essentially singles that they would put out. They never put out like a full length until much later in their career after they've been around. Career, I wouldn't call it career, but so they would put out these singles, and for punk bands, that was kind of unusual to just put out a record that had like one or two songs on it. Usually, like the we got some more nudity here.
Oh,
Oh, I don't know if I can show this picture.
Hit the subscribe button now.
It's real
You
quick.
wanna see
Hey,
nudity.
what's
at least
going
the
on
like
there?
button.
There it was.
That was lightning.
Wow.
That
How
was
do I
pretty quick.
rewind this?
Jesus, where was I? Anyway, yeah. So they would put out these singles, and eventually it was collected into. There was a CD that was called Epic Epic in Minutes, and that was like a collection of all their 7 inches and their singles. And so this was the Baiting the Public. This was a split with Haymaker, which is another. Haymaker was, I'm not sure if, I believe Haymaker was from New York or Rochester, that area, but they were good friends with that band. And you got the No Partisan record, you got Generation record, and then you have the Police record. Now this band, politically, I don't see eye to eye with a lot with this band, some of their politics and some of their beliefs, but I don't care. I like the music, and to me, that's always kind of what's been important. And so that's just the thing. You can have a disagreement politically with somebody, but still enjoy their stuff, still be friends with them, right? So just thought I'd like to bring that up.
That was perfect, man.
I was listening. What's going on? I was listening to what he was saying. I don't know what the hell.
Now that I'm going to rewind and watch again. That's a clip that needs to be isolated.
But yeah, Fucked Up is a great band. They went on. There's a cool clip of them going on MTV Canada, and the story goes that like they were on and they had kids that I believe it's on YouTube, and the show got really rowdy, and like after the show they're like, you're never going to be on MTV again, and Damien, the lead singer, was like, we played it once, why would we want to be on MTV ever again? And but that
story sounds very familiar.
They eventually put out a full length their sound really matured and changed quite a bit. And after that full length, like it got a lot of critical praise, but I was kind of out after that. They were still, a punk band at heart, but the sound was a lot different. It got a lot of political, or a lot of praise, but yeah, it for me it was all like the early 7 inches and the early singles. These are great records.
Well, they were channeling their inner Jim Morrison with that story, because the famous story when the Doors were on Ed Sullivan,
yeah.
They didn't want him to. They wanted him to change. They were going to sing "Light My Fire," and they didn't want him to say "Higher." They wanted him to say something else because they figured it was a drug reference, and he did it anyways. And afterwards, the guy's like, "Dude, you'll never fucking be on the Ed Sullivan show again. You'll never play it again." He's like, "We already did," So it's interesting. I'm not saying it's not a true story, but it's weird how those situations happened and worked out for the Doors. Not so much about the Canadian. What was it? Fuck You, or what was the name of the band?
Fucked Up.
So how do you get a band with that name on television?
When they played, they referred to them as F'd Up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I worked at a building in downtown Toronto, which housed MTV Canada and Much Music. And I remember there's one story, I think it was Fall Out Boy, when they made an appearance, and they're walking down the hall to go to studio or to leave their appearance. And down this hall, like it's a super old building, right? That's over the years converted into studios and offices and TV offices. And there's huge electrical panels with huge pulley arms, that are all set to the on position and whatnot. And as they're walking by, one of those mothers jumped up and cranked down one of those huge electrical panels to off and like shut down the whole building, which housed like 25 TV channels and shit. And they thought it was a big joke, but that's the last time they appeared on.
Yeah.
Those guys, those boys are from my neck of the woods, and I used to see them at punk rock shows and hardcore shows all the time. And they actually played a friend of mine's birthday before they were, signed to a major label. And actually, my wife, who is from here in California, one of her childhood friends is the lead singer, who I'm blanking on what his name is. They're cousins. That's kind of weird.
Maybe he was the Yahoo that pulled down the.
Well, again, I'm just guessing. That name popped in my head, but I could be way off. But that was definitely a story from my work. That one act did that. It was something. I remember that pooping story, by the way, if you want to hear that.
Of course.
Yes.
It was Colin Jost. Have you noticed he's been doing a lot of press because he has a book out?
Who?
Colin Jost from SNL, Weekend Update guy. Colin Jost.
The white guy, right?
Yeah, he's like
Right.
his fiance is Black Widow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Anyway, he
Sure.
was telling a story. He was on vacation somewhere, and as he was on this vacation, he would like golf every day. Whether or not he had a partner or not, he would just show up. And as it is with golf courses, you just get grouped with people. And I don't know if it's relevant, but maybe he was in Hawaii or something. Or this, he had several pooping stories, so they might be amalgamating together. But as he's on his way to the course, he can feel something going on, but he's like, I can handle it. And he gets grouped together with a group of strangers, and they're bonding throughout the match. But as it's going along, his stomach is churning and churning, and finally he gets to a nice long hole where he can disappear in the woods for a second. He runs off to the woods, drops trow and just lets it fly, right? Explosive. It's just concussive, and it's just flying everywhere. And but he thinks he's managing where it's going and all that. As he's done and he's about to, button up, he realizes that he's got it all down, and I don't know how, but the front of his pants. So you take the old underwear right there.
In the lake.
The underwear is the first casualty, so he cleans up with the underwear, and he's trying to clean up the pants as much as he's just smearing it around his front and all that. Underwear gets thrown into the jungle, and he's like, gotta put the shirt as low as it can go over the front, and rejoins these guys and plays the rest of the round with these guys. He had to have been smelling like he had to have been ripe for that whole thing. But he had several pooping stories, so check out the new Colin Jost book if you like pooping stories.
One of my favorite pooping stories is from an episode of the SCC podcast. Ooh. And I wish I remembered which one it was, so I can go back and listen to it. Maybe you'd remember. It was a story that Joe told about. I don't know if he was like drunk and shitting and puking at the same time, or I think it maybe one of the cabin trips, or he was at some dinner with his wife.
That resembles a story I told that happened to my great uncle. My great uncle had tons of crapping stories because he'd love to do fart jokes, right? And as you get older, those can go wrong. And he definitely had one where he had been drinking all night. And what happened? I think he had diarrhea first. So explosive diarrhea, just caking his thighs and his butt cheeks and all that. And then he instantly had to throw up. So he has to turn around and start throwing up in the bowl. Yeah. And as he's doing that, the door behind him opens up and someone else comes in and they get that scene.
That might have been the story. That sounds right. That's so good.
Well, I'll tell you, Curtis, and I can't tell his stories. He has to tell them because I can't do them justice, has one of the best stories I've ever heard. I even recorded it, and I'm dying to release the footage of him telling me and the Q Dogs the story. I already had heard it, and I still laughed as hard as I did the first time I heard it. And I know that ain't great for the audience, but
Yeah, Curtis is a great storyteller.
Oh my god, it's so good.
That story and the Poor Man Tom is another good story. Have you heard the Poor Man
Poor
Tom
Man
story?
Tom is great, and then there's another. He has two pooping stories, and one of them sounds a lot like that golfing story, and it was wild. But the airport pooping is the best. So if you ever get a chance, ask if you Curtis Friesel on Twitter, hit him up, ask him about his pooping stories. Contact his agent.
He's due to come back on the old STC, so I would like to hear those stories for sure.
Might. I think he's saving one of them for a movie, but I think that's why I can't say is I think he's going to work it into a script. But off air, I'm sure you can hear it, and they are fabulous. They're just the best.
Well, you can appear on the STC. You don't have to worry about many people hearing it, and you're putting it down for copyright reasons. So it's a plus.
Well, maybe.
Poor man's copyright. Anyways, are we talking records here or pooping? What's going on here?
You're the host, man. You're the boss. You would lead in this conversation.
Yeah, no, I love pooping stories. And like I said, my great uncle, man, he had so many of them. Like, and his poor wife, right, would be the brunt of many of these. Like, hey, Irene, check this out. And he'd try to do a fart and we'd just fucking blow it down the bed.
Night, Irene.
Yeah. Alrighty, so next, I don't remember where I got this. Remember I told you guys at my local record store here up in Barrie, Ontario, got a ton of third man record stuff from a local collector that was liquidating their stuff. I might have got it there, or I might have got it when we went to the third man record store in Detroit. I don't remember, but I remember it was cheap. It was only like $15, so I snagged it. And it's
15
when
Canadian or 15 US?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. 15's all I got in my head. So
either or, that's a good deal.
Third Man does a bunch of these recordings where it's just, no cover or anything. They just lay down a track for an artist and put out a limited supply run of them. And this he did when the Cone Bone stopped in Nashville.
Nope.
Yeah. The guy behind me. And he laid down a record at Third Man Records. This was during his little broadcast hiatus.
There you go. Oh, to the left. Your left. There you go.
So he was off NBC and awaiting. He had a time period where he couldn't appear on TV for a while due to his contract, and so he went out on tour with his band, and he made a stop at Third Man Records, and they recorded this live to tape. So he got up on stage with the band, and they performed this. And Blue Moon of Kentucky, On the Road Again, just some fun stuff. Seven Nation Army. I assume Jack got up there and helped him with that. The Weight is on here. So this is fun to grab.
Is he singing on all those tracks?
Yeah. Yep. And playing guitar.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I don't know if you can check out the Dead Wax.
Yep. Right there is good. There's some writing in there, yes.
Okay. So that says redhead walking into White Horse. And on the other side, it has end with only 3 days notice. So there must be more to that story, but
it's always that inside joke stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. As I thought it was a neat collectible. Right up my alley. I'm really leaning towards finding this in Barrie to make it more interesting. And then, it looks like I got some Alice Cooper next. Killa.
That's a good one.
Killa. That's a vintage Alice Cooper right there.
I need to give him a little more of a listen. I'm very limited on my Alice Cooper listening. I know a little bit, but I need to dig a little deeper.
And there's a good Alice Cooper documentary out there too. Very worthwhile watching.
What would you
Great
recommend
history.
starting? What's a good starting point for Alice Cooper?
That album's pretty good starting
Killers?
point.
Yeah.
Yep. That's my favorite.
Okay.
Especially side one on that thing. Side one. Missing a sleeve.
Well, side one is Under My Wheels, Be My Lover, Halo of Flies, Desperado.
You know, I always think I thought that was a later Alice Cooper release for some reason. Like that cover that just looks very 90s to me.
For sure. Yeah. This is 71.
Yeah. And so when you said that was, I was like, well, I had no idea that was from the 70s.
Alice Cooper fans are some of the most dedicated fans you'll find too. And they'll fight to the death for him. Because Alice, man, he doesn't get a lot of credit for a lot of stuff. Like some might say there'd be no Bowie if Alice Cooper didn't do it first. And then the Bowie people say, no, Alice stole from Bowie. But yeah.
Like glam? Like the start of glam? I see. Yeah.
Moving on. Again, this is random order stuff. That's why it's all over the place. Got an AC/DC coming up here next.
I've heard of them.
How many times have you shown this record already on this show?
I've only shown it once.
Yeah, I'd say at least twice. Oh.
Ugh.
Didn't you just get a whole new thing of sleeves?
Well, that's the point of this show.
All right. Come on, buddy. Sleeve that up.
Might want to just replace the vinyl on that one.
Yeah, it looks like it needs a bath at least.
Yeah, it's fine. It's good. That adds extra texture to the music. Oh, we're talking about nudity. Hold on to your hats, boys. Hold on.
Ooh.
Ooh.
This just got uncomfortable.
Sorry. Yeah, it's just what comes up.
That made it even worse.
That's my favorite Led Zeppelin record.
Yeah, me too.
It's
Favorite,
so good.
eh?
Oh yeah, for sure. No questions.
Yeah. I just discovered this last weekend that my copy is warped.
Oh.
So I got to get a new copy.
Someone's got an extra Black Sabbath.
Yeah, how great a song remains the same.
Mm-hmm.
Over the Hills. Oh my God. See, this is why I was having this little fight with you a little bit over the greatest rock band. Because how can you put anything over a Zeppelin, really?
Just a little too much self-indulgence.
But if you go like by their personnel, Plant, Page, J.P. Jones, Bonham, and compare them to their AC/DC counterparts, it's really... And I love AC/DC, but just by going through the personnel.
They're kind of hard to... They're like, I don't know. I mean, they're obviously both hard rock bands, but it's almost like two different styles of music.
I agree. I mean, I was just taking the piss on Twitter, man. I'm just having fun. Bill's got to make it all like, no, this is the rock band. I don't care. I
did not. There were several people that chimed in. I thought because you said rock and roll, so okay.
For rock and roll, I say AC/DC is like a rock and roll band. They're like Chuck Berry. They're like derived of Chuck Berry.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Know? Okay. Yes.
With these guys are doing more of a blues, like hard, heavy blues kind of thing. But I love Led Zeppelin and that. But like there are moments like when you listen to Led Zeppelin, it's like, well, I don't need like the 4-minute drum solo right now, when the whole band stops and then it's just Jimmy Page going on for like 6 minutes.
Yes. But nor do I need Angus stripping. for
That's
17
during
minutes.
the live shows. It's not on any of the albums.
Yeah.
And again, it wouldn't even budge the scale, but the Angus doing the striptease compared to what Led Zeppelin does. But they're a great band. I love them too.
Got more.
Presents? Is that
Got
record?
more here.
Now that one, that's supposed to have a cardboard. Isn't that In Through the Outdoor? That's In Through the Outdoor. It's supposed to have
you're right.
a cardboard over, like a paper bag sleeve over top of it.
Does it? Does it now?
Pretty sure.
I love that label.
Yes.
Iconic.
Everybody. There was at least one kid every day that was wearing that shirt when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Had that, and they all knew to rotate. They would never wear it at the same time.
I'm trying to think why I kept this one. There must be something a little bit different because here I do have.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
The actual. But there must be something different between these two.
What tracks were? I'm blanking on what tracks were on that.
In My Time of Dying. That's I think that's a big one on there. From what I can remember.
Beauty
so that
condition.
cover was too controversial, or what? Is that why it was covered? Because of alcohol or drugs, or what's going on?
I think they're just having fun because it's like that's what you get your alcohol in,
Yeah,
right? Is a paper
bag. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Ah.
yeah. That makes more sense. Yeah, good.
In the evening,
Oh,
Southbound
that's a good. In the Evening is a great song.
Fool in the Rain, Hot
Fool in the
Dog,
Rain's good, too.
doo-doo-doo-doo.
God, yeah, that's a good record.
All of My Love,
Those last
Terrace
two
Alhambra.
albums that they're very like I don't know. People skip them all the time, but they're really solid albums.
I pretty much I listened to that one about Coda. That's one I've never really listened to.
Coda is just like a collection of B-sides. And
Oh, is it
tracks
really? Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know
it's
that.
not a full. It was after Bonham died, and they were just like, well, we have a bunch of these tracks
Gotcha.
that we never released on anything else. So
All right, bear with me a second. Just trying to see why I kept. So this is the good one on the right, and this is the first one I pulled out. So yeah, they're two different.
oh yeah,
Is the one
label
just
on the-
unfaded?
yeah, or it's just how it was printed out or something.
No, like
Yeah.
see, that's like that,
Okay.
Mhm.
and then this one, it's got extra fonts on it and stuff.
Mhm.
The writing is bigger. It says In Through the Outdoor on the left.
Probably a second print, then maybe second print label, first print label.
Yeah, so research is needed to know if I need to keep this first one.
Discogs, buddy.
You can also try listening to them and see which one sounds better.
It's smart.
Don't side with Kevin, please.
I don't know what it is, but I like to promote people actually listening to these things instead of
Oh,
just
okay.
looking at them.
Weirdo.
Things are getting
That's what I like to
getting
do.
a little bit more complicated.
Oh my goodness, Bill. What's going on over there?
Is this
You know,
another? Oh, come on.
I kept this for a reason. There's a reason. So we got to figure out what the reason is.
Yeah, you're a hoarder and you don't know what you have, and you just kind of keep throwing it all in there, saying you'll sort it out
It's
later.
got to be a
And
third
this is-
label, huh?
And
Yeah,
is
this
the later.
label's even different. Can't.
Can't even see
Can't
it.
see it. Too close. Too bright. There you
There you
go.
go.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's a third different label.
Wow.
See, the other my best copy has this title up here, and the other one didn't have it at all. And so I don't know.
I think they're just fucking with people with OCD.
That's why I have 3 copies.
All right. Wait till you find out there's actually 6 different labels.
I'm looking, see what's next here.
And another one.
I guess I'm in the Zeppelin pile here because it's all Zeppelin coming up next. Should I continue? Or we've probably had enough, right? We had 3 In Through the Outdoors. That's probably.
There better not be a fourth.
No, that's it. But I do have a pile more Zeppelin to get through when we start the next episode, since I see we're coming up to time anyways. Don't want to hold you guys too late. You know, get you all angry.
It's Friday.
It's Friday. Yep. So that's it. Let me turn my light back on. There. Anything else? Anything else anyone wants to show off before we go? Any last
Real
minute
quick,
things to throw in? Okay.
This is interesting. So I have all the Sears Wish books from 1976 to 1993, and so this one's from 1983, mind you. Okay, I don't know. Let's see, 19. There you go, 83 Christmas. They would release these every year at Christmas. They're a big deal, especially for pre-internet children. You know, you would always. The main thing is you'd want to go to the back where the toys are and all that. But
without a
think
doubt,
about how's this taste? Okay, they have a little record section, sort of. I mean, they have some, you know, these generic ass all-in-one deals, right? That's got the cassette decks and to show you what they really thought of records in 1983. They were selling these little storage cases, which are really cool, right? You know, like has Miller and Budweiser, and I guess you could put the lids back on them. You set them on their sides, but look what they called it in 1983. Solid nostalgia.
Oh,
1983. It was nostalgic already. Records were considered nostalgic. So, how's that taste?
I love that you have those Wish books. Those were so important to me as a kid.
Oh, my grandmother always. Now she typically threw them out whenever the new, like they were just very neat people. No, like the complete opposite of me. Every year she would cycle them out, but through that year, you know, like I would look at the toy section, and I never even thought of like just saying, well, fuck it, I know she's gonna throw it out, take it home or something, or at least tear out the toy pages. But I would look back and forth because that's pretty much how you told them what you wanted for Christmas. I mean, sure, there'd always be those last second things, commercials and what have you, but toy manufacturers pretty much coordinated with catalogs at the time. So if something was coming out for Christmas, it was going to be in a Sears catalog or Montgomery Ward's or JCPenney's, things like that, and other regional stores. And that was the internet then. That was, you were living right if you had and they weren't free either. Like you look at them, they're like $3 or something, which isn't, you know, doesn't sound like a lot, but
no, they would give them out for free.
Well, right, but you actually, well, anyways,
if you wanted another one to replace it, you'd have to
right.
pay for
Well,
it.
my grandmother, yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know about everybody else. I know if you were a card holder, they would send you them for free. And that maybe anybody could get them for free, but I know if you had an account, and she did. So she had one for the JCPenney's, the Montgomery Wards, but the Sears were creme. That was the creme de la creme. Like it had it all. And when you go through these books, they're just amazing. I mean, it's a time capsule like no other. For pop culture.
I remember sometimes the toys wouldn't actually look like the toys that you could buy because they were using like prototypes or whatever to do the photos.
And also there's a few video games that were in catalogs that never made it to release, and publishers never released them. So there's things like that too, things that actually never made it to market. But you're right, there is prototype, you know, it's really cool. And every now and then you'll see a familiar face, like some kid that turned out to be like an actor later or something. So
really?
Oh yeah, it's a blast. I can't think of it right offhand, but there's a few. But my ultimate goal is probably to finish up the 70s. I don't really care as much about the earlier years, but I definitely like to at least get 74 and 5 at some point. It's kind of nice because you know, every now and then they'll spike in price, and then I'll just like, and then they'll sit because it goes in ups and down. Like, you know, people don't stay consistent with buying them. So then I'll wait till they put their best offer feature up, and I'll just start sending the low ball offers. I'll just keep peppering them until they submit. And then I get.
Well, I was in a small
the
town, so there was no toy stores to go shopping at. That catalog was everything.
The smell of those cats. I remember the smell of they had a real unique smell to them, and that.
Yeah. And thankfully, none of mine have any sort of like tobacco, because that's one of the weird, that's the hard thing about them. Because a lot of times, if you're smokers, a lot of smokers in those times. So it's nice when you can get a really clean copy. And thankfully, all of mine are smoke free and very clean. And
how much do those things cost?
They're starting to ask kind of stupid money now, like $50-$60 a piece. Whoa. Typically, I got all mine for 20 or less. A piece, like I got a few, which some people, every now and then you'll get a newbie seller, they don't know, and it'll be like $10 free shipping. I'm like, ugh. So I'll message them and say, hey, I just want to give you the heads up, just go ahead and send it media mail, or you'll end up paying to. I want to make sure they ship it out, you know what I mean? Because they'll go to print it and they'll be like, oh shit, because these things are heavy. So that's another tactic too. If you are trying to get somebody to do to make a deal with you, and they have like a priority mail as their listed shipping, message them, ask them to drop the price down to media mail, so it could reduce your price. Typically they're asking 20 plus shipping, 30 plus shipping. $30 is pretty much the fair price if you're going at the rate. That's kind of where my top dollar is. Thankfully I haven't had to pay that, but that was always kind of I won't pay over 30 for them, I'll just wait. And I got really lucky. One person listed they had the whole 70s collection, and I impulse bought them all. I bought one and I thought, I'm good. I buy another one. I was like, you know what? I just messaged him. Look, dude, I'm just going to buy them all. Hook me up a price. And he gave me a nice discount. It was pretty cool. So
we don't have media mail here.
Yeah, I know. It sucks with Canada. I'm really sorry for you guys. Your Canada shipping is horrific.
We don't even have like mid-tier shipping. It's like the crappiest.
It can't fit in an envelope, right?
Yeah, like you got the letter stuff, which is cheaper, and then it's just full tier. And there's like two options for full tier. It's like you can send it, it'll take 2 to 5 days, or you can send it expedite it, and it'll be there in a day, and it's the exact same price. It makes no sense whatsoever.
That's stupid. I'm really surprised nobody's tried to maybe it's your guys' laws, but how is nobody competing with them? It seems like a prime thing to undercut.
I don't know.
Oh, we have other shippers, domestic shippers, but they're
not undercutting, so they're not competing, right?
They're not undercutting. Well,
yeah.
I mean, sometimes you can, but it's just not as easy as Canada Post. Canada Post is on every corner. It's at the end of every street. So, especially if someone else is paying for your shipping, am I going to do some extra legwork?
Does that media shipping in the States, does it have tracking as well?
Yes. And it used to not have tracking. There was a time there was no tracking with media. You had to get first class or above for tracking, and a priority and above will give you insurance. So in order to get insurance, you have to either go priority. You can get insurance with first class, but you have to pay extra, which is usually a couple of bucks. But media mail, and yeah, some people will argue with what's allowed under. I said the fucking Xbox media mail. You know what I mean? I roll the dice all the time. I don't care. Now, eBay's kind of made it a little harder because they've actually tightened what they will let you ship out in media mail. But if you want to just go to the post office and just say, hey, I got this box of books, or if they ask you, they typically, my post office never asks. I have heard of a couple of horror stories where the post office or the postman actually in one case opened my friend's, he got some laser discs, and the postman actually opened it. The actual post, like the person delivering the mail, not even the factory, opened it in front of him and said, this isn't media mail. You have to pay another $12. He's like, fuck it, send it back then. I'm not paying. So, and that's very rare. I have shipped out more things in media mail than I can count, and I have never had any problems. It is a slower shipping, but if you're upfront with if we're talking about selling aspect, if you're upfront with the people you're shipping to, typically they don't care as long as you communicate with them, let them know, hey, this is kind of what you're in for. About a 7 to 10 day process. They are usually okay with it. I mean, if it's going to be cheaper,
Yeah, it's worth it on the cost.
don't care.
It's cheap, way cheap.
Well, right.
I don't know
Even something like an album, because of the dimensions. If you actually put the dimensions in right, that won't go out first class. You have to send it priority, but you can ship it media mail. So there's no reason not to. And things like books, there would be no book market or VHS market if it wasn't for media mail, because no one would do that. Yeah, I mean, this would cost you like $10 plus whatever the cost is. Nobody's going to pay that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But in media mail, I could put I could put 50 in a box and ship it out for like $9, $8. You know what I mean? At the most. And that's at the extreme end of media mail. Typically it's $5 or less.
Yeah.
That's what it is in Canada. Like to ship DVDs and that. It's like it's $10. It's ridiculous.
Right. And so what's the point? I mean, nobody's gonna do that. You have to make bundles in that case. You know what I mean?
If you're buying records through media mail too, just always, I'd say, order more than one record, because
right.
So with media mail, it doesn't always arrive in the best quality. I don't know if it's a process that it goes through, but the only time I've ever had records damaged that come in the mail, it's been through media mail, and it's usually if I've ordered only one. So I've noticed if you order more than one record, they're usually packaged a little bit better. It's a little bit thicker of a case or a box that it gets sent in. So if you're ordering through media mail for music, for vinyl, be sure to order more than one record.
And if you're buying from a seller, not like a company, which you might even be able to contact them. But I mean, if you're buying something that you don't want to get damaged and it is going media mail and you want it to go media mail, I would definitely hit them up, ask them to put in some extra packing material. Most people they don't want no problems. They'll do it, especially through eBay, the way they give refunds out. All you have to do is say it was minorly damaged and you're going to get a refund. So just contact and stuff. Media mail is the way to go in the States. I mean, it sucks for people outside of the States. I mean, right now, like Derek was like, hey, I can send you this manual, and if I send an envelope, it'll take you a month, but it costs you like $4. If I put it in a box, it'll be like $30. I'm like, what do you think?
I saw that. I don't know if you guys saw I don't know who posted it on Twitter, but somebody ordered from eBay a Han Solo bookmark, and the person, to take advantage of the media shipping, put the bookmark in a Catwoman DVD. Yeah.
Oh,
like
okay.
the Catwoman movie, put it in the DVD and sent it as
that is
the
funny.
DVD
was
the packaging for.
But that's another. I mean, if you were ever concerned about them opening up the packages, you could actually stuff in with magazines and newspapers, and I mean, that's technically it. I mean, with video games, everything's technically software. They try to argue that fact because whatever reasons, but I mean, software, and that all falls under media mail.
It's funny. Anyway, I order sometimes from, there's this guy who makes bootleg heavy metal patches, like high quality woven patches, and he's out of Ireland, and I've had stuff sent from the Ireland Post to me in less than a week's time. And I've ordered things domestically that have taken longer to get sent to me than a package in Ireland. Or honestly, it's what he sends this stuff in is just like a letter envelope. So, and the shipping is super cheap, and this is coming overseas, and it's international mail, and it's here, and it blows my mind how quick it gets here. I still don't understand how these patches that I'm ordering from Ireland will get here quicker than stuff that's sent domestic. I don't get it, and it's cheap, but it's coming in a little letter envelope, and he usually wraps the patches in like newspaper, but it's cheap. It's crazy.
Yeah, we get stuff here like really quick from the UK all the time, and it's generally free shipping. I don't know how they can manage that, but something from Mississauga, which is like an hour and a half away. That's going to cost, between $7 and $10 to ship over. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I think for a lot of it though, they're not even checking. They don't even check, like nobody's there checking the weight and if it could fit or whatever. They just look and see, okay, it's got, like, somebody paid some money to ship this thing, and they just pass it on through.
Yeah, there's no way they could handle all that.
Yeah.
I get dinged all the time with saying I've underpaid on my postage, and
Really?
I think it's just them nickel and diming extra money out of me because I'm never wrong with my measurements. But about once a month, I'll get a message saying, "You're short by $1.50 on this package."
Do you have a label printer, Bill?
My headphones
He
died.
just took his headphones off.
He's done with his shit.
Yeah, that's it. He's out of here.
Do you have a label printer, Bill?
What's that?
Do you have a label printer?
No, I just print them out on regular paper and
Okay.
and then cut it, and then it goes in these. The post office does give me these sticker envelopes for free. That's the one perk we get. You get a bundle of 100 of those for free if you're a small business member.
A sticker envelopes? What are those?
It's so you don't have to it's like an envelope. The whole backside is a sticker, and your label goes right inside there.
Oh, for the label. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I just put the tape over top of them.
This is just even easier, and it's free. So, but it's hilarious. Our local mail. I live in Barrie, right? So if I want to send something to a guy through our mail, like 2 streets over, let's say I'm lazy and I just want to mail him a card, that card ships all the way down like an hour and a half to another city for sorting, and then comes all the way back up into my town to deliver it to the guy. It is bonkers
I've had that
how it's managed.
I've ordered through Media Mail. I've ordered directly from a band in Portland. It shipped from Portland to Los Angeles to somewhere in Texas, and then Texas back to California. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's so weird with Media Mail sometimes. It's so weird. It's just like it's going wherever.
Alrighty, well, as a sorry, do you have anything else, Kevin?
I was just gonna say that was good.
He's done.
Appendices.
Yeah.
It was good appendices to the show.
Yeah, he's like,
I gotta go to bed.
As Steven Eider says, this is not the Derek Show. This is not the Derek Show. So thanks, Steven Eider, keeping us on track. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Don't forget, only days left if you stuck through this far for the subscriber giveaway contest. Check out that video. There'll be a 1,000 subscriber giveaway too. Hot on the I've been talking too long here. And Chris Roberts is even going to throw in some extra bounty into that. And hey, let me tell you, when we did the 500 subscriber giveaway, that was a couple weeks ago. We're already over 600 subscribers. So
really
the train
good.
keeps a rolling. We'll be doing that 1,000 pretty soon.
And
then
I
once
just
we hit
got a
1,000, YouTube.
sorry. I just got a notification that I'm up
That's
to
okay.
10 subscribers. What do you think of that?
Whoa.
Dude, my
it's that
video
Vice
got
News
31.
article, man.
My world record video got 31 views so far. I only wanted it to get the 1. I just needed them to verify it. So, but hey, 31 views in one day. Come on, man. That's more than Kevin's had in the last month.
Whoa.
I think so, man.
Just kidding.
He is
I
the
can't
YouTube
say it.
number
I was
one.
going to say the Bill, but can't insult the host.
I mean,
Alrighty, thanks again, everyone, for coming by. I thank my vinyl pundits for showing up again. I much appreciate it. Chris Roberts, Kevin, Buried on Mars, YouTube's #1 Blu-ray channel. Matt Bandy, as normal, the anchor of the show. I much appreciate all your colored vinyl. Appreciate it. Yeah, let's do it again in a week, shall we, boys?
sounds good.
Yes.
Okay, see you next time. Thanks, guys.
Bye.